everyone. Ibrahim Yunus is my name. I'm an author, speaker, an educationist, and a businessman. My mission in life is to help minimize divorce in my country, help minimize poverty in my country, and help minimize low self-esteem among the youth in my country. Our topic today is on some of the problems, the challenges that are affecting the youth. And we have in our midst, in the studio, a very renowned speaker by name Abdul Rashid Yaya, PhD candidate UDS, change maker, speaker, researcher, educator, and he's the founder of Sharp Brain International College. You are welcome, Mr. Rashid.
Thank you.
What are some of the things you did for the youth in your own small ways?
Thank you. I think I want to take this opportunity to say hello to the viewers of NTV. I think that is a wonderful station. Your question is very relevant. I have done a lot of things for the youth. First of all, I have created an institution that has employed about 17 youth, which I have trained to become professional teachers. And they are delivering marvelous in the school. I've also been undertaking projects in some selected second cycle institutions. I normally go to second cycle institutions to empower them, to motivate them, mostly to speak about discipline and how they can pass their examination. I've also had an organization that I'm running that is committed to coaching youth to be able to start their own business. I also help youth to write their own business plans and be able to implement them. I think these are some of the things that I have been doing. There are many, but time will not allow me to enumerate them.
Exactly. Our topic actually today is on what are the things preventing the youth from reaching their goals. Having worked with several youth, I want you to state 3 major problems you think that are affecting the youth from reaching their, let me say, destiny or their goal in life.
I think that this is a very good question. And this question, the reason why I'm saying it's very good because we have so many youth in the country. And they are supposed to be change makers, drivers of the nation. Because after our elders, the youth need to take over. And you've also agree with me that there is now a clarion call on the youth to become leaders in society, to actually help impact on the society. But in my interaction with most of the youth, I have discovered that so many challenges affect their progress in terms of achieving their aim in life. And I think time may not allow me to actually catapult or to actually enumerate all the challenges that the youth face. But per your question, I'll just enumerate 3. One of the challenges that the youth face so much is low self-esteem. In fact, most of the youth, they don't believe in themselves. And to that extent, it affects their morale. It affects their confidence. And if you don't believe in yourself, you can't actually take an initiative. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't talk to anybody. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't come out of your comfort zone. You can't do things differently from what you have been doing. And doing things differently from what you have been doing takes you out of your comfort zone. And if you can master the courage to come out of your comfort zone, in fact, you can be bought by the public. What do I mean? If you are selling something, you need to be able to come out and speak to the public. And people buy you before they buy your product. If you also want to become a leader, you need to market yourself. People need to buy you. But if you have so low self-esteem, you may not be able to even speak or engage in productive discussions.
So the first challenge you identify is low self-esteem. Secondly,
in fact, another major challenge is most of the youth, in fact, they lack clear direction on what they want.
What do you mean?
Yes, they lack clear direction on what they want is that they don't know what they actually want in life. For instance, they don't have a goal. And if you don't have a goal, you can't actually think of how you can reach that goal. For instance, most of us don't know what we want to do in life or who we want to become. Are you getting me? And all this has to do with our educational system. I mean, we are in a school that teaches us so many subjects. And at the end of the day, you don't even know which path you are going to take. In my case, I'm now a very renowned businessman. In fact, when I graduated, or let me say when I completed SS, I was doing agric. I was finding myself in a situation where I cannot practice the agriculture because you have a heart that tells you to engage in something, start doing something, but you have learned a certain kind of orientation that tells you to go to the farm, but you don't have an interest in going to the farm. So at that stage there will be some kind of conflict in your mind, but I eventually resolved it by reading motivational books, by buying my own.
So that means some youth really choose subjects not necessarily because that is what they really want to do.
In fact, in my case, my brother was reading agric. So it was just convenient for me to also pick agric.
So you read agric because you see
in fact, others reading. And that's a classical case of most of us.
And each one of you are different. You are unique.
Yes.
He's unique. Yes. So thirdly, what do you think is a major challenge affecting the
In fact, the third challenge is most of us, in fact, find it very difficult to take an action.
Is it fear of
failure?
Or
that is it, is fear of failure. And if you cannot take an action, you can't move from where you are to where you want to get to. For instance, coming here, if I haven't set out to come here, in fact, this kind of discussion wouldn't have taken place. If you haven't taken the initiative to go and talk to somebody about your problem may not be solved. If you haven't taken the initiative to get yourself educated, you may not become the kind of person that you are. You want to become a lawyer. If you don't study hard in order to go to the law school, you may not become a lawyer. You want to become a doctor. If you don't study hard, or if you don't choose biology, study, go to the medical school, you can become a doctor. So in everything that you are doing, you need to take an action. And so most of the youth, they think. And you know, when you are thinking, it's like you are wishing. And wishes are like horses. You understand? You just need to take an action. That will bring you the result. But if you don't take an action, you can't get a result. Yeah, so these are some of the three challenges.
Mr. Rashid, everybody has problems. The president has problems, the ministers have their share, CEO has his share, security man has the share, photographer, cameraman, speakers, everybody has their problems. Now with you, some of these problems actually kill other people. Some are dead and gone because of a particular problem. But some are able to use this same problem and they're able to overcome it and become better people in the society. There are some problems you cannot forget them even though you've overcome them. I want to know in your personal life, what are the 3 problems personally you were able to overcome but you can never forget them? And you think there are many youths also going through that with your experience, maybe they might learn to also overcome it.
Thank you so much. I think that one of the problems I wouldn't forget in my life is low self-esteem. When I was growing up, I was a stammerer. I couldn't have even spoken a word. In fact, in my primary 2 days, I was always in sad mood because I shudder to go to the class and think of a situation where Madam will call me and I'll say, "Present, Madam." In fact, at that stage, I didn't even want to have any discussion with anybody. So I was always within my shell. Even to the university days, I had to fight. I had to make sure that I read books. I had to make sure that I consult people. I had to make sure that I force myself to interact. In fact, that particular kind of experience.
So you mean you were a stammerer?
I was a stammerer.
But you speak very beautiful. How are you able to overcome it?
I'm telling you, through hard work, through persistence. I tell you, in life, if you persist, you will eventually get to where you want to get to.
So, do you believe there are many stammerers who also feel like the way you ever felt? What would you tell them?
In fact, I want to tell them that everything is practice. You you need to continuously practice. Even if you are a stammerer, please try and engage yourself in a room.
Okay.
Continue to speak.
Okay.
Get a mirror, speak to it.
Okay.
Continue to speak.
Okay.
Continue imbibing in your mind. In fact, the idea that one day you'll be speaking with somebody.
Okay.
The idea that you will stand on a stage and speak to the public.
Okay.
Continue to imbibe it. And when you continue to do that, your subconscious mind picks it.
Okay.
And when your subconscious mind picks it and internalize it, in fact, you will eventually grow to overcome this particular situation.
So the first one is low self-esteem, which
Yes.
is linked to the stammering.
Yes.
The second problem.
Yes, I also having a problem with goal setting.
Goal setting.
Yes,
Okay.
when I decide something, I eventually find it very difficult to achieve it.
Okay.
And I realize that I lack that kind of discipline to be able to achieve a goal of a sort.
Do you
So
think there are youth suffering from that?
so many youth, because I have been interacting with the youth.
Okay.
You know, I told you that I have an organization that I coach youth.
Okay.
They come to me, I coach them. Either they want to start their own business, or either somebody wants to become let me say a youth activist.
Okay.
Then I guide them on how to go about it.
Okay.
And I have had numerous occasions and stories about some of these incidents. And the youth, in fact, most of them are very expressive. They have been very clear to me, and most of them have talked to me about their problems.
Okay.
And it has to do with this, that when they don't know how to set a goal, and also when they set a goal, they are not able to achieve it.
What is actually goal setting?
In fact, goal setting is determining what you want to do and working towards doing it. For instance, we are here today. Tomorrow, I want to go to Joy FM and speak.
Okay.
I will set a goal against that. For instance, we are in 2018.
Okay.
I can set a goal by 2019. January 2019, I should be able to speak in Joy FM studio.
So
It's
there
a
are
goal.
there are many youths
And
who
when you
don't
said-
have this kind of.
Yes, and
Okay.
mind you, if you think of a goal, you need to write it down, paste it in your room, continue to look at it.
Okay.
Even sometimes in the morning, you need to enchant it in yourself, so that your subconscious mind can pick it. It's
Okay.
very important. You see, life is not by accident.
Okay.
Life is predetermined. You need to create your own life
Okay.
and follow it.
Okay.
But most of us don't realize that. We think that when you just wake up, you do your normal activities. No, you need to have a plan for all the activities that you are doing. And some
Okay.
people actually have. I have had my own plans,
Okay.
and I'm following them assiduously. And there's a help
So
to
the
that.
second problem is the goal setting. What's
Yeah,
the
goal-
third point?
The third one is planning.
Okay.
You see, it's one thing having your goal, and another planning towards achieving your goal.
Okay.
Because the plan has to do with the steps,
Okay.
the activities that you are going to undertake in order to achieve your goal.
Okay.
Because goal is just writing it down. But
Okay.
if you write something down without having a plan towards achieving it, you may not be able to achieve
Okay,
it.
so-
And most of us don't have a plan. We don't
Okay.
actually write the kind of steps that we are going to take, the sacrifices that we are going to undertake.
Okay.
In fact, the kind of people that we are going to meet, the kind of books that we need to read, and all this have to be written in the plan.
Okay.
And time may not allow me to digest into detail how to plan towards achieving a goal. It's also a school, a class on its own that you need to go through to understand it. Because plan is different from a
So
goal. You need
if
to have a
if I
plan.
get you right, you face the challenges you faced were low self-esteem, goal setting, and planning.
That is
Now
it.
let's come to the youth and money. There are a lot of youth who believe that the reason why they are suffering is because of lack of money. Do you believe that?
I don't believe in that.
Why?
Because my parents were not having money when I was growing up.
Really?
Let me say, my parents were not well to do.
Okay.
In that case, money was not a predetermined factor for my success today.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Okay.
I'm using myself as a case study. I
Okay.
don't know of anybody. And I
Okay.
think that life can be replicated.
Okay.
Replication means that you can apply it in different settings.
Okay.
We are human beings.
Okay.
And most of our actions can can affect each other and can look somehow the same.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Okay.
So I think that money in itself is good, but money is not a determining factor. In fact, money comes nowhere to actually making you to achieve your aim.
Okay.
There are so many factors that makes a human being achieve his aim, and one is you need to have a goal.
Okay.
You need to plan for it.
Okay.
In fact, you need to be able to think of the necessary sacrifices.
Okay.
You need to. Do you know that in the journey of life, you need to actually plan for certain sacrifices that you need to do.
Really?
Yes. When I talk about sacrifices, people may think that you are going to get an animal killed and that's all that. But there are some kind of journeys that you need to take. There are some kind of people that you need to talk to. You need to get a certain kind of information which requires reading. You need to talk to certain kind of people. These are the sacrifices that I'm talking about. So sometimes money is not the yardstick for one to become rich or for one to become successful.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
You need to have a plan.
But are there some people whose parents are wealthy but they are not able to be successful?
Yes, in fact it's numerous.
Really?
Yes.
Well, in that sense, what is the factor? Why?
They don't have a clear aim.
Okay.
In fact, even the planner here,
Okay.
and they don't have the kind of literacy.
Okay.
You know, sometimes we call it money literacy.
Okay.
In fact, you need to understand money.
Okay.
Understanding money does not mean that you should have money around and know it. No, you need to know that money has a certain behavior.
Okay.
Money in itself will not make you who you are, but you need to actually know money to be able to get where you are. Are you getting me? Because the little money that you get can help you to become who you are. So necessarily having money or necessarily your parents having money does not make you become successful. You need to work towards it.
So that means that there are youths also whose parents really they don't have, but they are able to become successful.
So many.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And I can cite you so many examples.
Really?
In fact,
we don't have much time. Let's get a case study. One person.
One person.
Specifically, you know, who rise from rag to become very useful, successful.
Bill Gates is one.
Okay. I want someone within our own environment.
In fact, I have somebody next door Ghana.
Okay.
Limited.
Okay.
Near PK Gombla.
Okay.
Next door was not having anything when he started his next door company.
Wow.
Now next door is one of the multi-billion company in Tamale.
So where you are from
PK
cannot
Gombla.
determine your future.
Yes.
So what do you have to tell the youth who are thinking that maybe because of poverty that is why they are suffering?
In fact, I want to take this opportunity to tell the youth that they need to plan.
Okay.
They need to have a goal. And they need to be very persistent in their goal. It's one thing having a goal, it's another thing having a plan, and another to persist.
Okay.
Please, you can draw the plan alright, but if you don't walk through the plan, because there are going to be challenges, but you need to persist in order to overcome those challenges. You need to talk to
I think we don't have much time, but to wrap up, I want you to speak on one major problem facing our women, the young ladies. Just one major problem you think is their problem.
From my interaction,
Okay.
I've discovered that most of the ladies, they concentrate on themselves so much.
What do you mean?
They value fashion so much.
Okay.
More than even trying to actually achieve their aims.
Okay.
Some of them concentrate themselves in so much. And when you concentrate on yourself so much, in fact, you find it very difficult to interact with people. You find it very difficult to bring yourself down.
Okay.
You understand? To be able to solicit a certain information from somebody. You find it very difficult to undertake.
When you say
certain
fashion,
things.
what do you mean by fashion?
I mean fashion, this kind of dressing.
Okay.
In fact, this kind of lifestyle,
Okay.
this kind of pompous
Okay.
and expensive
Okay.
living.
Okay.
Are you getting me? When you don't even know where the money is coming from, but yet the lady still wants to persist.
Okay.
If you continue like that, you won't even be able to save.
Okay, I think on this note we'll stop here. We'll wrap up with time with the motivator. Thank you very much. What we'll do is that I've jotted down certain few things when you were speaking. You said some of the problems affecting the youth. You mentioned of low self-esteem. You mentioned of lack of goal setting, you mention of planning, you also mention of inaction. You spoke on fear of failure. I think these are some major things you think that are affecting the youth, and I will encourage every youth to listen to what Mr. Rashid is saying. The truth is that where you are coming from, whether you are from a poor background, whether you are from a rich background, really is not a determinant of your future. We see people from poor background becoming successful. We see people from rich background becoming successful, and there are others from rich background, they are unsuccessful, and there are people from poor background, they are unsuccessful. So basically, that is very, very important. We must take care of. You also spoke on the ladies. Our ladies, you must minimize your fashion, the way you focus on yourself. Yes, taking good care of yourself is one. However, you shouldn't let that take 90% of your time. There are certain important things you need to take care of. It's very, very important. Well, I per se, I have different 3 problems that are affecting the youth, and I would like to use this opportunity to speak on that. The first one is the youth believe that bad things are supposed to happen to them. Yes, you've heard me right. A lot of the youth I've interacted with, they believe that bad things are supposed to happen to them. Let me give you a clear example. A lady had an interview, a job interview in Accra. When she came back, I asked her, how did the interview go? She said she knew it. I said, what do you mean you knew it? I didn't get it. I said, you mean to tell me you left from Tamale here to Accra with the intention you won't get it? Now, there's no guarantee if you have intention you get it, you will get it. But I believe her preparation would have been different. Now, there's another guy who recently quit with his lady. I asked him, what happened? He already knew it. I said, you mean to tell me you invested 4 years in a lady with the intention that one day she will leave you? It's a tragedy. There are a lot of you watching me. The person you are with, you already know he will leave you. You see, let me tell you something. What you focus on is what you attract. If you believe the bad things are supposed to happen to you, well, the universe says your wishes is my concern. So they give it to you. Now, the second thing I think is a very, very big problem with the youth is misplaced priorities. Misplaced priority. What do I mean by misplaced priorities? You see, studies have shown that you become what you study. If you want to become a doctor, you study medicine. If you want to be an engineer, you study engineering. If you want to be a lawyer, you study law. You become what you study. In other words, you become what you invest your time in. Now, I've seen a lot of youth who come to me complain of poverty, financial problems. At the end of the day, I'll see him watching what Lionel Messi did last 2 weeks. Your future is better than what Lionel Messi did last. This is misplaced priority. I see a lady facing serious challenges in her relationship, but I see her watching something different, listening to music. You see, you must be careful with the way you are wasting your time. Just recently, there was this Miss Ghana issue. A lot of people were watching it. I think 3 hours or 4 hours per every week. Let's multiply 3 hours for almost how many months? Now, okay, she has won, she had a car. What did you get? Misplaced priority. We invest our time wrongly. In fact, what you said, we don't really know what exactly what we want. I'm not against watching program, but at least you must also invest in yourself. Your future is better than any program. You must take good care of your future. And the last thing is the friends we associate with. The most amazing thing is that you move in the direction of the people you associate with. So what kind of friends do you associate with? For instance, when I wanted to speak on radio, I made friends who speak on radio. And trust me, within a short period of time, I started to speak on radio. When I wanted to speak on TV, I make friends who speak on TV. Today, I speak on TV. In other words, you move in the direction of the people you associate with. Now the youth, the problem is that I've seen a youth who wants to be a musician, but he's always with policemen. This is misplaced priority. A policeman is not a musician. Hang around with musicians. I've seen a lot of young guys who want to be footballers, but they're always with teachers. A teacher is not a footballer. You must hang around the friends you want to become. If you want to go to Takoradi, you go with people who want to go to Takoradi. You don't move with people who want to go to Kumasi. This is some of the problems the youth are facing. You see a lady who wants to stay long in her marriage and all her friends are divorced. You see, you must be very careful with the way you associate. Who do you associate with? The person who influences you most. The person who influences you most. I think the last thing is that the youth also think more of themselves. Yes, as they said, I know almost 6 guys who are very genius, gifted, but they don't believe they are gifted. Maybe probably because of their background. Don't judge your future by your background, or else you go nowhere in life. I think I would like to conclude with this statement I'm known by. Status in the world is not defined by what work you do, but by how well you do it. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you're a teacher, a speaker, a motivator, a writer, a cameraman, a camera woman, a photographer, a watches seller, a kenke seller, a rice ball seller, a doctor, a nurse, a mason, a carpenter, a plumber, a welder. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you do, make sure that you're giving your all. And everybody around you will know that you are giving your all. And remember what Prophet said, La yu'minu ahadukum hatta yuhibba li ahihi ma yuhibba li nafsihi. None of you is truly a believer until you wish for your brother what you wish for yourself. I always wish for myself a fulfilled life. And I wish all the youth in Ghana, Africa, and the whole world a fulfilled life. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.